It's that time of year again. Everyone knows that the holidays can become overwhelming quickly, so the sooner that you get things done, the better. For both shoppers and businesses, the best time to score great deals during the holidays is Black Friday and Cyber Monday weekend. And that's why you need Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household names like Allbirds and Cowboy e-bikes to entrepreneurs who will be participating in their very first Black Friday or Cyber Monday this year. Shopify has everything you need to succeed from start to finish. First, Shopify's marketing tools help push your brand to the forefront of the chaos, no matter what platform your customers are on. Then, Shopify helps draw customers in with the ease of a convenient checkout with Shop Pay, Shopify's expedited checkout that saves customers information and reduces hassle. The best part? Shop Pay has been proven to boost conversions, meaning you see less abandoned carts and more profits. You can also stress less knowing that Shopify's award-winning customer support team is on standby 24/7 to help with any issues that arise, allowing you to get back to business as fast as possible. This Black Friday, join thousands of new entrepreneurs hearing for the first time with Shopify. Sign up for your free trial today at shopify.com/income. That's shopify.com/income. Go to shopify.com/income and make this Black Friday one to remember.
This is The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic. There's one thing that is about to happen soon that I just can't get on board with. It's New Year's resolutions. So many people see the flipping of the calendar as a way to make a fresh start and really go after their goals. Gyms are more crowded than ever, and sales of treadmills, Pelotons, and free weights are probably at their peak. Personally, I am just not a New Year's resolution person. If I want to change something in my life, I just go ahead and change it, no matter what time of year. So this is not going to be about making lofty resolutions that you toss away halfway to Valentine's Day. This episode is going to be about making a real plan, not a promise. A plan for your best year of running yet. And you want to know the best part? You don't have to do it alone. More on that in just a minute. Welcome to The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic, and my mission is to help you improve your running, your mindset, and your life with science-backed training and plant-based nutrition. Today, I'm going to go into how and why a yearly running plan can be critical to your success. I have done a similar episode to this before, but this one is new for this year, so it's a good time to refresh. You're going to learn what happens when you don't make a strategic plan for your goals, how and when to mix up your distances and your training, and I'll explore what a well-planned yearly calendar looks like for marathoners, half marathoners, and 5K or 10K racers. This episode is going to be extremely helpful to plan out a whole year of running. But remember, you don't have to do this alone. I still have a few more spots on the PR team, and you get a major discount when you sign up for a full year. Imagine having the whole year sketched out for you while still allowing flexibility for life. Each cycle blends seamlessly from one to the next with plenty of time for fitness building, recovery, and room to try new things. I actually had a coaching call this week with one of the longtime members of the team named Emily. Emily told me that this group has absolutely transformed her running and her life. She told me that she appreciated how I treat everyone's goals as if they're elite athletes, even though nobody is elite on the PR team. So many people who want to get better at running are high performing in the rest of their lives, and she loved that I always explained why we do what we do. The support from me and the other runners on the PR team has been deeply meaningful, she told me. It really is a gift to be able to coach athletes like Emily and create a community of runners around the world. This is my life's work, and I would love for you to join us. Head to theplantedrunner.com/group to learn more today. And of course, don't forget to stay tuned all the way to the end of the episode for this week's Mental Strength Minute. Fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. I would guess that the majority of recreational runners don't take the time to plan out an entire year of running all at once. Sure, you have a big race or two, and then you have that local race that you do every year. And of course, if you're American or Canadian, there's the turkey trot on Thanksgiving. And then, maybe there's that destination race in that cool city you've always wanted to visit. But who will watch the kids? Do you think that the elites plan their year this way? Of course not. Their coaches meticulously plan out which race goes where and what kind of training goes there. They think about which distances build on each other and which races to say no to. Now, I'm not saying that you have to or even should plan as carefully as a professional runner, but we definitely can take a few tips from them. Most runners put a goal race on their schedule and count backwards. You've got 12 to 16 weeks of a marathon block or 6 to 12 weeks to get specific for the 5K. Then maybe you throw in some down weeks for recovery and then put something else on the schedule. That kind of planning can work out just fine, but a haphazard plan can also lead to haphazard results. That's because each training block builds upon the last one. And because if you're always doing the same thing, you're going to always get the same results. So let's look at how you can take a more thoughtful approach to your running with some annual planning. Of course, every runner is unique, so the year that you plan will likely look a lot different than mine or your running buddies. But there's some general principles that can keep you training optimally all year long. The first step is to mix up your race distances. Too often runners find one race distance that they like and they race it over and over and over again. If you are a marathon runner and you race 3, 4, 5 marathons a year or more, that means you're neglecting other areas of your fitness. To illustrate this, let's look at how marathon training is different on your body than 5K training. When you're following a marathon training schedule, you're focusing primarily on 3 things. The biggest one is developing your aerobic threshold. Your aerobic threshold is defined as the fastest pace you can run while staying aerobic, using oxygen to burn fuel. Second, you're working on increasing your muscular endurance, which is how long you can run without your legs falling apart. And finally, marathoners train to increase their fueling efficiency, which is how efficient you can be at burning fat instead of carbohydrates while running at marathon pace. In 5K training, your 3 main objectives look a little different. In the 5K, you'll train to increase your VO2 max, which is how much oxygen your body can utilize during exercise. Number 2 is improving your speed endurance, which is your ability to maintain a fast 5K pace for the entire race. And number 3, you're developing your running efficiency, which is the ability to recruit maximum muscle fibers with each stride without increasing your effort. This means if you love the marathon but skip out on training like a 5K runner for a while, you may never get a chance to improve your VO2 max and running efficiency. And that, over time, will handicap you in the marathon. Now, if everything I just said isn't convincing you, let's flip the scenario around. How well do you think that dedicated 5K training will prepare you for the marathon? 5K specialists get really good at redlining it for 3.1 miles, but that's not going to translate to hours on your feet without a major shift in training for longer endurance. But imagine how great it would be if you could use that speed from the 5K in the marathon. No, I'm not saying that everyone can stretch out their 5K pace for 42K, but you can certainly get a little closer. Your body is incredibly good at getting good at something. Once you teach the body that it can run a mile without dying, it'll do whatever it can to make running a mile easier to conserve energy. Soon, running a mile is not a challenge anymore, and a single mile does not stimulate anything other than maybe a little fitness maintenance. To continually improve, the body needs a change of stimulus, a new type of demand for the muscles and the body. In other words, you've got to do something you're bad at again for your body to get good at it. Okay, I hope I've convinced you by now to switch up your distances. Now, how do we put this all together in an organized annual plan where each cycle builds on the last? The first place to start is to ask yourself what your goals are and to take a good look at your strengths and your weaknesses. Some runners are more naturally suited for the shorter distances. Others seemingly can run forever, but the struggle is to run anything faster than a half marathon pace. So play up to your strengths first and then address those weak spots. I'll go over example year-long plans for marathoners, half marathoners, and 5K runners in just a minute. But first, I want to tell you about a unique opportunity for you to get stronger, faster, and stay motivated to hit your running and nutrition goals this year. And that is to join the PR team. Each member of the team gets a custom training plan made by me for you based on your unique fitness goals and lifestyle. Everything you need to achieve your running dreams is included, such as strength training, recovery, and even cross-training if you want it. I include weekly mental strength training as well as training tips and nutrition guides. But here's where it gets really cool. The group has its own page in the app where we share workouts, ask training questions, and get feedback from me and the other teammates. And each week, I create an exclusive private podcast just for the team based on the questions I get and what I see in their training each week. And I usually end up sharing behind the scenes and exclusive sneak peeks with the team that I don't share anywhere else. So instead of joining a Facebook group or sitting through another Zoom call, you get to listen to tailored advice on the run, and you don't have to do this all alone. When you're ready to take your running to the next level and join an amazing team of runners, head to theplantedrunner.com/group and join us today. It's more affordable than you think, and I can't wait to have you. The Planted Runner is sponsored by Liquid IV. You've been sweating through the summer and finally cooler temperatures of the fall are on their way. But that doesn't mean that you should lose focus on proper hydration for running and for life. Now is the perfect time to stock up on Liquid IV's new Energy Multiplier, sugar-free hydrating energy. It's scientifically formulated to support physical energy, hydration, focused mood, and even social stamina. You already know that it hydrates better than water for your runs and your workouts, but it's also perfect for when you feel run down after a long night out, and it's what I have in my carry-on anytime I'm hopping on a flight. I especially love the blackberry lemonade flavor. Don't just power through your day, ditch the glitch with zero sugar and zero crash from Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code PLANTED at checkout. And that's 20% off your first order with code PLANTED at liquidiv.com. Welcome back to The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic. So what exactly does a year-long plan of running look like? Let's start first with the marathoners. Ideally, you are limiting your marathons to only 1 or 2 per year so you can properly recover and then focus on improving by varying your training. Here's what racing a spring and a fall marathon might look like for the Northern Hemisphere. In January, you can try a short 4 to 5 week speed phase. Race a few 5Ks and do shorter speed-oriented workouts while slowly building your mileage. February through April is your marathon training and a spring race. May and June, after your race, focus on recovery and building back into a good general level of fitness. Include strength work, strides, and hill sprints to stay healthy and to touch on your speed. In July, head back into a speed phase. Race some 5Ks or 10Ks and really bump up that VO2 max. August through October or November is when you are training for your fall marathon. And finally, November and December are for recovery and perhaps focusing on speed and strength. From here, you can plan another spring marathon or you can opt to wait until fall so you can really focus on speed instead with a longer, concentrated effort. Now let's talk about the half marathoners. Half marathons are much easier to train for and recover from than full marathons, but many of the concepts from the marathon cycle still apply. While you can successfully race them more often, you still need to include training segments that focus on the opposite ends of the spectrum, aerobic development and speed. Here's what a yearly half marathon cycle might look like. From January to March, you can choose to begin a speed phase, do some 5K or 10K training, or work on building mileage. Choose whichever you like the best, or work on whatever system you feel is your weakness. Then, from March till June, you will be in half marathon training and racing season. From June through September, shift to recovery mode and then begin either base training or a speed phase, whichever one you didn't do in the winter. From August to November, you're back into half marathon buildup and specific training. If you're an experienced runner, you can run a half marathon every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how well you recover. And in December, you're back into recovery and a build-up period for the next year. Finally, let's explore what a 5K or a 10K focus looks like over a year. If you love these shorter, speedier races, it's important that you set aside a training segment or 2 each year to help you safely build your mileage without the stress of scorching speed workouts or races. You need some longer, easier runs, just like the longer distance runners. From January to March, focus on building mileage and work on including more tempo runs and long runs. Maybe even race a half marathon to mix it up. Then from March to July, start ramping up your speed work and transition into 5K or 10K specific workouts. Around June through September, you'll be in prime racing season, so take advantage and choose races that excite you and motivate you. Then from September to October, include a short segment that bumps up the mileage and backs off the intense speed workouts. This will allow your body to get back in balance. Performing intense speed workouts lowers the body's blood pH, which is a measurement of acidity levels, which can actually only be sustained for about 6 to 8 weeks before staleness and burnout occurs. In November and December, begin another 6 to 8 week 5K and 10K racing segment. Turkey trots, jingle bell runs, they're all perfect for testing your fitness and a fun activity during the colder months. When 5K focused runners include base building periods and take intensity breaks, you're allowing your body to improve in a balanced way. This helps ensure you continually improve each year while preventing burnout and overtraining. Now, if you simply love racing as often as possible, that's okay too. Racing can be fun and a great way to connect with your running community. I would still argue that you should have a smart plan for the whole year if you have performance goals as well. Which races are purely for fun? And which races do you want to do really well at? If you can prioritize which races mean what to you, you can race almost as much as you like and still ring the PR bell. And now it's time for the Mental Strength Minute. Fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. Today's topic is imagine your 80-year-old self. When you're having a tough day or you're in a tough spot in a run, it's completely normal to get down on yourself. When you notice that happening, imagine that your 80-year-old self got a magic wish and could trade places with current you just for one day. How would your feelings shift? My guess is that older you would be thrilled to be you for a day, even if it's one of the bad ones. She'd love to be running as well as you're running right now, and she'd be grateful for every moment. And you know what? 20-year-old you would probably be just as impressed. Thank you for listening to The Planted Runner, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Don't forget that you can enter to win a free custom training plan for your next race and get featured on the show. Just write an Apple Podcast review and enter at theplantedrunner.com/PRLab. Of course, reviews are the #1 way to boost this show's reach, and it's a great way to tell me what you'd like to hear next because I read every single one. Have a great run today.
Ever wonder whether stoicism is actually as terrible as all those red-pilled bros on TikTok make it seem? I'm Tanner Campbell, American philosopher of Stoicism and host of the Practical Stoicism podcast, and I'm here to tell you that, thankfully, those bros couldn't tell the difference between their you-know-whats and a hole in the ground, let alone teach anyone anything about any proper philosophy. Stoicism is an ancient Greek virtue ethics philosophy all about developing a morally just character, and you can learn more about it by listening to my podcast, Practical Stoicism. Search for it today in your podcast player of choice and give it a go. I'm certain you'll find it, at the very least, informative.